All right. Let's get started here. Hello. Just getting started. I'll just be a moment.
Hey, oh, you know.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna check this stuff out. Let's take a look at the new catalog builder. Um, I've got some friends with me on
Okay.
Discord, and I think they're watching along, so there might be some delay. We'll see what happens. I've got audio from my own computer. All right. So I typed in catalog builder. I upgraded my instance. I reviewed my skipped update, and I'm just let's check out this catalog builder. Uh, what Yeah, I really hope it's not a reskinned version of the old catalog item builder that they made.
Shouldn't be.
You said it shouldn't be. Yeah, I don't think it will be, but I hope it isn't. I was kind of warned, or I was told that it uses the new now experience stuff to build this stuff.
Mhm.
So this is obviously in my PDI. Got recently updated items that I've made for different reasons, which have terrible names. Well, let's see. I got this dashboard with welcome to catalog builder. You can go on start creating catalog item. Right. Well, we'll check that in a second. Creating your own template, and then you have to learn more about the catalog builder. Let's just see what's out here.
Mhm.
Oh, they have a video and everything. They beat me to the punch. So you can create or edit
Oh,
catalog items or record producers using a visual or guided experience with specified restrictions. Okay. The builder enables you to delegate the creation and maintaining the catalog. I mean, that sounds exactly like what I've wanted since like 2008, a year after I started developing in ServiceNow. You can create a template, okay, to create a catalog item,
hmm.
and you can specify values or restrictions for items created using the template. For example, restricting catalogs, categories, variable types, and portal settings. Well, that's nice. You can probably restrict like the use of password variables or something. I don't know if you wanted to like certain types of things. Hmm.
So it's kind of creating template first, then catalog items.
Okay. Well, let's jump into it. Let's create a new item. Let's make an item to I don't know order a sandwich or well, I guess we'll see what templates say. Look what it takes to get started to create a
See,
service.
it's template, then details, location, question. So first you have to create template anyhow.
Yeah. Yep. 8 steps. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't that many. Because like these steps generally have to be dealt with whenever you make an item. We just
Exactly.
don't think of it that way, or I don't think of it that way. So there are no templates on my instance. Um, so I guess I have to make a template first.
Mm. You need to first, I guess, you need to go on the home page and then create a template.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So we'll create a standard template for a standard item. Let's see. Well, that's a neat loading bar. I kind of like that. It's different than anywhere else in the system. It's bedtime in my household, so kids are still being crazy.
It's
Uh,
bedtime and I'm just awake. It's like 8 a.m. over here.
all right, so we'll call this item, I don't know, what's something simple we can do? Lunch items. It'll be the lunch items template. Not that it's lunch, it's dinner time. Um, so we have to provide a name and short description. This will be for all foodstuffs at lunchtime. Not that this is actually the item that's going to be the thing we order. It's just going to be the template, right? So then we tell it to make the
Mm, yeah.
details. Okay. So is this actually making the item, or is this going to be the predefined stuff?
No, I think you need to provide user criteria over there on the template details.
What's that?
If you go on that template details, yeah, there is on the top before details there should be one. The previous page.
This is the first page. Like if I go back,
Is it?
I don't see a back button either. I can go home, return to the dashboard.
And if you scroll down, you'll see template available for. I think you
Oh,
have
this
an
is
option.
for people, right? Maybe,
Yeah,
or is it for catalogs? Sure, we'll say anybody can make these things.
I just don't want to miss any mandatory stuff over here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right though. That controls availability. What were the other options? So it looks like it uses user criteria probably.
Yeah,
Maybe user criteria, and I don't know if these are also user criterias. But
they should be user criteria only.
okay, so that's using that feature. Yeah, you're right. That's a good call out. So here we'll do template
It's fine.
taco lunch because this isn't gonna actually make the item. This is like we said, the template, right? Um,
Mm-hmm. Template.
and then so we're gonna fill in the details about the form folks can fill out for food. I didn't see anything else. Or did I miss something? That's it. All right, so let's just. I wonder why that one has a green dot and that one doesn't. Right? Am I
Yeah.
missing something?
Mhm. Not yet.
All right. Well, here we go.
One
Well,
thing I can think of is this
so has you
is
picked
it
a
catalog item or is it, I mean, the details
catalog?
that you have put on?
I had to pick the catalog item. So here we'll throw on just the standard service categories where it's going to end up. Where would you like these? Which catalogs would you like your catalog item to live within? We'll have it just live in the catalog, and sure, we'll give it a category. We'll call it office. We'll just give it the one, but you can give it two, and then one of them will become each of the others. I wonder how this works with the scoped categories. If you have other stuff that might seem problematic. All right, so then
I think
what?
they all of them would be available in this only. I mean, it's a platform feature, so it doesn't get impacted by the this scope thing. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that it was a problem, and it allegedly is fixed in Paris. But I'm in the middle of rebuilding an item for my current work out of a scope because it can't exist in different scope categories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But let's add a question here. So do you have to have
So let's
variable sets pre-made? Oh no, it's waiting to load. It's just taking a while.
select all the question template.
All right, so I guess you can't add questions. You just have to pick a set of questions,
Yeah.
or what
It's a set.
permissions?
It's a set.
What permissions would you like to set for new owners using your template? Select question types that you would like to manage and access to within your template. Here, let's restrict list collectors. Um, I don't want to have anybody have access to list collectors. And then, so you have to have a
Mm-hmm.
variable set to say what variables would exist at least. I'm not watching the chat. Let me pull this off into another window in case somebody says something. Because maybe somebody who's watching knows better. I don't want to use any of these, so I'm gonna actually go out and make a catalog set, a variable set. Since it looks like it needs that, Did it have all of them? Yeah, it did. Okay. So here we'll just make a single row variable set, and we'll just call this food item variable set. That's gonna.
Okay.
I just want to add a few things to it so like we have something there. Every one of these would have like who is
Yeah,
it
two
for?
variables would be more than enough. One or two variables just to check those stuff.
What's that?
I'm saying adding one or two variables would be more than enough.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to check.
exactly. I'll just add two here. What what do you want?
Add drinks. What do you
Mm,
want?
and then I'll do another one. Um, where are you? So it can be delivered or whatever the case is. Or, um, I get so excited about these new features. I want to check them out right away, but then my mind runs off and things still work totally different than they will. I should really come in with more of an open mind. Um, we'll
What's the
just
first idea of template and item? I mean, it's allowing user to create their own catalog items, right?
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm.
So I mean, it's important to have these things predefined. Um, oh, I should probably add. Let me add one thing else, one more thing here, because I said that you can't use list collectors. If I add a list
Yeah,
collector, does it omit it from this?
should.
Let's just see. Um,
Or
who's
is it like
paying, and then I'll make
these
this.
questions would be there in template? I mean, as a template, it would be there, but user cannot create a list collector. That's the feeling that I'm getting. And you are saying that if you design this variable, he won't be able to add that.
So if I add this variable, you're saying it's not going to work at all. It's not going to take
No,
this
no,
group.
this what that's what I'm thinking is these variables would be there on the template, but the permission set won't allow user to create new variables of list collector type, but he would be able to see this thing. That's what I think.
I'm closing the bringing it back so it reloads it and see if it's there. So yeah, it still loads a variable set. Let's see. Because I did tell it to omit the list collectors, and then okay, and then you can add more with this thing here. Okay, so I wonder if they added some sort of restriction. Oh no, this is the template definition. So this is for the admin. So we wanted to also say they could pick. Here, let's do common comments, and we'll continue. Submit order button. So order request submit. Okay, that's kind of interesting that they give you the different options for text, which is something that I've been asked to do. I'll add to cart the wish list.
It's just a label.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of the experience is actually pretty good though. So who would be able to order this item? I'm guessing, right? Available for.
So it seems like that ServiceNow, what ServiceNow exactly is looking for, that they want to just want the user to design these admins to design these templates, and the managers and all to do these cataloging thing,
Sure. It
like
almost.
in HR
I don't
they
want
do
to
those
deal
things.
with the roles right now, so I'm just gonna give it to any user. You know what? Yeah, we'll just give it to any user. I wonder actually
Yeah,
if that guest user would actually work.
let's
I'm not.
stay
I'm
with
not
any
gonna.
user.
I'm not gonna try it. Yeah, I don't wanna dig into it. Not available for. I'm not gonna say it's
Yeah,
not available for anybody right now.
Okay.
Fulfillment method, you can say flow designer or workflow. Oh man, they even added workflow there. I can't believe it. Can't a user create a variable on the catalog builder? There's tone Nato. I'm not sure. I'm figuring it out right now. I'm just checking out this new feature. Um, so I'm just gonna pick the default service catalog item request for flow design. But it does let you have workflow, which seems interesting. I would have thought they would have like been like, nope, if you want to use this new feature, you gotta cut over. Like that would have been a choice I would have made if I were them.
Yeah, I
Overrides.
mean that
What's that,
that is
Dave?
also fine, but yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
So the next thing it has here of this step 7 of 8 is provide restrictions for the questions based on what can or cannot be changed by the submitter. Oh, so you can choose of the variables, maybe like what questions they can change.
Submitter, not the requester.
The questions that can be edited, editable by submitter. You may be able to specify what fields are editable by the submitter. For the fields that are editable must be specified. For fields that are editable and must be specified, make them mandatory. I don't know what this is supposed to actually do. Is this supposed to let the person making the catalog item from the template edit the variables?
It would be like templates have these variables, right? So if someone wants to override those things, that he's going to use the template, but he's not going to use that particular variable.
So
So I mean, there are a few things that are pretty common. You just browse that. Let's see what
yeah,
they
so
have.
it looks like it has description made at a. Oh, so these are choices that maybe they can change on the item itself. So if
Yeah,
they wanted to change item, like I want them to be able to change the name, change the image, change
selected
description.
flow,
What?
workflow. You can change the flow and workflow that you were talking about.
Right. I wouldn't actually let them change the flow in my brain. I'd just be like, okay, well, we'll make a flow that these guys all follow, and like they can make that item appropriately. Um,
But after item, you need to have a workflow, right? That
right,
you
right.
can
No,
process.
I set the flow on the previous tab. Um,
Okay.
Here we'll add short description, and yeah, we'll do it like this. So they can change those things. Yeah, on fulfillment, they have the choice of using Flow Designer, and then you pick a flow. But then overrides, I think, lets the person who uses the template, who wouldn't be an admin but isn't the submitter of the end resulting form, edit these
Mm-hmm.
things. That makes sense. These questions must be answered before submission. Oh, so maybe I should have left those things blank. Setting an owner override as mandatory to make the selections required. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's say that they have to set everything but image. Multi-select questions where where the available options are restricted. I don't understand what this is telling me.
Multi-select questions where the available options are.
There might be a gap between when I'm looking at stuff and you've seen it too. I don't know how big of that delay is in the stream. I don't see I don't understand what this was. I would have thought maybe this had to do with that list collector restriction I put on in the beginning, but
Mm, yeah, but it's multi-select questions where the options are
maybe it has to do
also
with the multi-row variable sets.
maybe, or
Or
maybe
or
with
is
the
there a
choice.
new variable type called multi-select? Let's take a tangent and just take a peek. Right? Let's just
Yeah.
see if maybe there's a new variable type called multi-select. Because like that is something I've been asked for in the past, which is like make a variable that's a choice that you can grab multiple items from, but it's not a list collector.
Uh, so There's some.
There's these multiple choices, but that's you choose one in those options, if I remember right.
So it is for drop down values, record reference. It's everything. I'll just ping that link to you so that you can just have a look.
Oh, it's in the docs. Okay. Oh, that might make sense. So if you had a drop down, you could maybe restrict selections within the drop down. Like,
Exactly.
say, for instance, if you wanted to make this where they said, where do you want to order from? And you list a bunch of different restaurants. And maybe the folks in whatever place can't pick the CEO's kitchen. Okay, that makes sense. We
Oh,
don't
those
have
are
any
available.
we don't have any select options for that, but we're just gonna go ahead and skip that part. Review and ensure the details are correct. So we're gonna just I think we're just gonna say it's all good. So it's gonna have a template name of lunch items with this will be for all foodstuffs at lunchtime. This template's available for anybody to make. It should preload item name template taco lunch. So hopefully they change that. Have
Mhm.
a fiesta. Item details, no file attached. I should probably
That
attach
should
a
be fine.
file. Let me go back to the details. Yeah. Um,
So it seems like more of a, that when you design a scoped app and you want user to modify the catalog based on certain things or using certain parameters, that could be one of the options. That's why this template thing is there.
yeah, no, I kind of like the idea of it. Let me just attach this image so we have that.
Come on, brother, I
Downloads.
haven't just have my breakfast. Should
Oh, it's like bedtime for me, so I'm just gonna jump back down to review and submit. It has that image. Who knows how good it's gonna look? The image is ginormous. So now I have these questions. It's kind of neat that they show it this way. I wonder if they'll be able to change the order since that wasn't listed.
okay, this
The
is
review,
nice. They are showing all the people's right.
yeah, it's a nice review of it. Let's just see what happens. So this is the template that we made. All right,
I
so
think we
now
have
that
created one item is here as well. I mean, if you scroll up, there is one option for item as well. All we just have.
I left that page already, it was too fast to leave.
No
All right,
worries.
so if I go back to the dashboard and say, let's go create an item, and we can choose the template because you couldn't do it without a template. So there's only one template. It's the only one we can use. It's guess we click on it. Yeah, okay, we click on it. It loads on the right. Maybe I should do this as a non-admin.
Template. Then this
Let's do this
item
as a
detail.
non-admin. Let me just spin up a different user and make a non-admin to do it
Sure, sure, sure.
because that's where the real power is in these things, right? Is letting non-admins make the stuff. Or actually, we'll just.
Non-admins shouldn't be able to. I
Well, I
think. I
mean,
mean,
the people you delegate, like this person can actually make this. I guess we'll pretend we're this guy. Active, sure. Roles. He doesn't have admin. He's got a bunch of other roles. We'll just pick on him. He's a user.
ideal user.
Now maybe we have to add the stuff to him, but let's just assume they make it available for folks once you've identified that people can just make those. Nope, it's not there. Okay, so let's go back and see what the limits are on that in the UI 16. I just want to see what rules it requires. Okay, so it's there, but this requires catalog, template editor, catalog builder editor. Guess I'm not sure what the difference is yet, so I'm just going to give this guy that rule.
One could be for designing cat template as well. I mean, you don't want anyone to create those templates. That might be the
Right.
case.
Yeah, that would make sense. I agree with that assessment. So we're just gonna manually give this guy this rule, which I normally would never do. I'd throw it on a group, but
Yeah, while playing you can do, but while working you can't.
we'll just give him the builder here and see if that makes the difference. Impersonate. So now he sees it. All right, so he can only make new catalog items. Can't make templates.
Yeah, it
You can
should be like that only.
you can see existing items. Oh, and then
Yeah.
we try to go to those items. It doesn't let you try to edit them. Okay. I am a big
It's
fan
not
of the ellipsis here in the cell, so you don't actually have to right click. Oh, they actually got rid of right click in here too. They don't require that. That's kind of nice. That'll be different for sure. All right, so create a new catalog item. The yeah. So let's let's see what it looks like for this guy. So he can pick the lunch items template. They don't edit it here. You just tell it to use the template there. And then so this guy's gonna say, we're gonna do, I don't know, um, instead of tacos, we'll do a fruit basket. We'll say they'll use this for fruit basket orders.
drinks corner.
What's that?
Go with fruit basket. I was saying that instead of fruit basket, let him be a bartender for us.
Let him be a bot.
Bartender, the one
Oh,
who
oh,
serves
like a
drinks.
like a like a drink. Here, oh sure, we'll do that. Yeah. Um,
But it's lunch. Let it be fruit only. Thanks.
it'll be great. So everything's already pre-filled in because we gave it these pre-filled details, and we said that the image was the only thing that wasn't needed. I think it made the item name mandatory, right? So like, I'm assuming it won't let me submit without that. If I drop this image, there's no
It's a mandatory.
preview. What's that?
If you remember, did we remove allowed him to modify the image, or
Yeah,
we left image that can change image, right?
yeah, he can change image, but I think I made it so image wasn't mandatory. So I'm actually gonna just drop this image. I'm not gonna replace it, and it isn't mandatory.
Okay. These buttons could be a bit big.
What's that?
Uh, as part of UI thing, the buttons that are there, they should be a bit bold or bit more
Oh,
stuff
like
should be there.
these things here, like the image item name. Yeah, it let me continue on without an item name. I'm gonna keep going without setting it and see if it'll let me finish without setting it. I'm sure it's gonna give me an error.
It will give you an error. I mean, it's if you
I mean
see on
it.
the right side, left side, it's red,
Yeah, yeah, but it
red
hasn't
dot.
aired out yet. People still try to. Yeah, I don't trust anybody doing anything way too. So we didn't give them extra catalogs or categories to select. So in the future, that actually might be something you'd want to do. Mm,
Yeah,
but because I was just testing it out, I wanted to see what it looked like.
you will get the related list sort of thing only. Not the related list, the list collector.
Mm. Maybe was I able to select multiple catalogs? I was able to select multiple categories. I see. Yeah. So that'd have been interesting to see. Oh, there's a preview button. What does this look like? Oh, that's kind of interesting. So when you click on preview, yeah, it loads the form what they. Okay.
giving you option to have you on Now Mobile as well, not only Portal.
Right, right. Yeah, if you preview it now mobile, I wonder what that looks like. Which I do wonder how heavily used this is. I know at my workplace it's not used at all. It's still loading. You can see on the bottom there.
Is it loading or is it not showing anything?
I think so. There it finally goes. ServiceNow is not the fastest tool. Uh, yeah. Okay. So
Okay, now it's there.
okay. So they can see it. They can see it. How it would look. I'll open
Yeah,
preview tab, and then I'll go
it's a
back.
great thing. I mean, it's like you are developing on some web development stuff.
Oh, and then here, look, they can add new questions. They won't
Yeah.
change the flow because the flow is defined for what it's going to be.
So I was thinking about its practical application. So it would be like you design a template for an organization, and the different teams can add their own variables they want. Like if if someone is asking for a request on hardware or something, they can ask for some additional user details directly.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of not asking questions that aren't needed, which is really hard for folks to grasp. Like people want to just ask questions for reports and stuff later. But in my opinion, if it doesn't help drive the decision making or approvals on the said item, like there's no reason to add said variable or question or field.
Exactly. That is directly proportional to the user experience. Lesser the question, better the user experience.
Right. So in here they can add insert a new question. They can pick question sets, and they can also pick kind of like these things. I didn't see like a way to restrict this, like where you omit certain variable sets from that. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Um, and then in here you can add okay, so you can break this stuff up, but if you define where it goes, it's going to be kind of interesting. But you could do something where I don't know. I'm not sure. It's I do kind of like this. So the question sets, so you pick question sets. New question. Let's just look what that looks like if we were to add a new question. So they can pick, oh, only one of these 5 types. Well, that's interesting.
I think this is the one that we restricted, right? I mean, the one we allowed at the beginning itself.
The
That
only
they can change
variable type I restricted was the
risk collector.
list collectors. But there's
Okay,
like
it's not.
20 some odd variable types. I can't look at it now
Oh,
because I'm not in as a normal user, but there's a bunch of variable types that aren't listed here.
maybe below we can get those things. I mean, option, if you select option,
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, you're
you
right.
can do.
Okay, so you pick the question type and then you pick question subtype. Yeah, I don't like that at all. But okay, that I guess may make sense.
Yeah, you don't like it, but the users would like it, though who's going to create whole
I don't
these
know. I
catalogs
would almost
because
rather list all of them together, but then again, I'm old and set in my ways. Oh, they called it radio. They went back on their old naming and they actually went with the actual HTML standard for that type of input.
yeah,
That makes me happy. Maybe they'll eventually make that change on the system. All right, this is kind of cool because you can do the rich text. It'd be like I don't know some crazy HTML. And because it's just a label, um, all right, so it doesn't let the special characters like before, which is great. And if I load that preview up, there's that table. That's nice that they have that preview like just there. Um,
It's looking nice actually.
it does look really nice. I'm actually kind of surprised. So I disabled a bunch of these things, right? Um, I didn't allow them to change any of those things. I think thing
Yeah. So they
in
are not
my
able to edit that.
in my overrides,
Yeah.
and I didn't allow them to change available for. So in the future, I would want to make sure that available for has a bunch of the different available options, and not available for has a bunch of different available options. Um,
They have taken care of the standards of the organization as well. I mean, if there's a standard in the organization that you should have these things, like kind of mandatory questions or kind of things that a process that catalog button should be there or something like that, you can control that as well.
yeah, yeah, I do think this is really nice so far. Um, I'm actually really excited about it more than I more than I thought I'd be. It's got some stuff I'm not a fan of, but it has a lot of stuff that I'm a big fan of. Review the details to ensure that everything looks right. So then they review the details because I'm still in as this person. Oh, what is? Whoa! Did they actually link to the Catalog Builder documentation? They do. Well, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that is really nice. I mean, for people who are just starting this thing.
Yeah, and it's almost there. I wonder if it like kind of saves it this before they like if it has like a temporary item that exists in like their session or their user records. So if they like leave this and come back.
But do you think we should have an, or it might have an approval process for these? Like anyone could create those catalog items. We don't want the bunch of lots of catalog items for the user to choose from.
I don't know. I didn't see anything on the template about setting like a process to like allow them to go forward. I'm also kind of curious, like, so the following mandatory fields are not filled in. Item name doesn't say where it
Sure.
is. I know it's in details, but it could be confusing. All right, so here we'll do this.
Uh, so, item name. This
Get a
is
dr-
bad.
what's that?
I mean, it should show you that in details you have missed that thing. I mean,
Maybe. I
there are so
mean,
many.
it is its first version of this. Well, I shouldn't
Yeah,
say first version. It's
scope for improvement.
yeah. There's room for improvement for sure. It looks pretty good though. I do agree. Let's see what this item looks like that I'm submitting. So item's been submitted. Your item's been submitted and will soon be available in the catalog for your users to select and request. If we're unable to publish your item, you'll be notified. Okay, so if I return to my dashboard, I'm still in as Andrew,
You
and
might
it's
need to go to
published.
the. Let's see.
Let's just take a look at the edit flow for it right now. So they can this item is active. If an item is no longer required, you can retire it by making it inactive. But if he can't make it inactive, I don't know what this says. The changes will be applied only after you submit the item. Okay. There was no file attached because I didn't attach a file, so it didn't require that thing. For better or worse, like that's an option here. And you click on edit catalog item, and they can
Hmm.
edit the item. I'd be
So,
curious.
is it available for all the users right now? it is published. It should be available for all the users.
Yep, it should be. So if I pick on like a non-rolled user, I just wanted to see what it looked like when I was checking it out as the creator who made the item. So let's go back to the standard here, and we said it would be in the service. I
It's
forgot where I
back in
put
draft.
it. What's that?
Maintain item.
Oh wait, I'm not in as admin. I wanna find the item. I know I put it in a certain catalog in a certain category, but I don't remember.
Just go to portal. You will find. Just search for that. Get a drink or something like that. You'll get that self service or something like
I'm just going the old way. I wonder why this is red. Uh,
that. It's in draft.
what's that? Is in draft?
It seems like it's in draft. It's giving red. I think the save button didn't work.
You cannot edit this item. This is checked out for editing in catalog builder. But I didn't thought I left. Oh, this is in draft here. I see. Because I opened it as.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not human. Well, I'm an admin. I'll just
You
click on
can
cancel checkout. Sure, you want to cancel this checkout? All changes made to this checked item will be lost. Because I didn't change it after I looked at it. We'll cancel the checkout.
you
We'll see what happens.
yeah, you just uh modify the active one, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, I modified active and I didn't save it. So it's available for any user, which is a user criteria. It's in the catalog under Office. Okay, cool. So let's just pick on a random user and see if it just works. Right? So this person seems great. Aline Rubik.
No rules, so she should be able to use that thing.
Right, I didn't look at the user criteria specifically to see how that works.
It names any user, so it shouldn't have any restrictions. It should be all users. That's a better way.
I just wanted to like search for it the way I would see it. So that other variable set, I wonder if that doesn't have any questions. I did add that one variable. Oh wait, no, this is the list collector. Okay, so that's kind of weird. Because it shouldn't have let the list collector happen. Maybe?
No, it's like in the template you remove that option. So it's like the one who is designing the catalogs,
Yeah, you'll have to be
catalog
careful.
item ish. Yeah. And moreover, it is getting directly available for the users. I mean, the ITH people won't be logging into dev or test environments. They would be on prod and they would be creating these things on the fly.
Yeah, I wonder
That
maybe if it's actually a permissions for this person since they're not part of any role. Maybe they can't see the groups.
just try logging with the admin or able tutors. They must be able to do something.
Yeah, here I'll just duplicate this tag and go back a couple pages, and I'll impersonate able to. Is that how I impersonate? Unimpersonate. I thought for some reason Abel might have more like roles. She's got the 30. She's got IT. That's totally fine. So we'll reload it. Um, yeah, so it totally lets you use that list collector, even though you said they couldn't. Maybe that list, maybe the variable limitation was only that they can't make new variables of those types,
Exactly.
which wasn't what I thought it'd be. Um, but here we'll just say we want some water at home. It's not a not. I'm not going to get anything of it right now. So then, order now was the label. I think that's what I picked before. Delivery time. I don't remember setting this, but maybe this is controlled from the flow or the workflow if you had that set. I know that there's a bunch of different ways you can select that.
Should be there, or it should be on the catalog itself, if I remember.
Yeah, this is actually quite interesting. So then go to this. There's the item. Um,
Let's raise that request.
so I'll impersonate and look at that. Look at that whole thing. So if your flow depended on like a variable, like say you wanted them to control what teams it goes to, you could make a flow that says use this variable to assign it to these groups. Um, a few things I didn't notice was any like there isn't any like UI policy like hide show logic that they can do.
Exactly.
Um,
UI policies thing. I mean, it's like
I wonder if that
kind
can
of
be edited after the
based.
fact.
No, but it was directly going to the published state, right?
Well, that was the other thing. They have that whole draft thing. Like when you go to edit it, I wonder if there's like actually a flow that controls its publish.
Okay, but
Like if I so I'm in as me. If I go to this item that we made, I don't want to like actually I'll configure the item. So we can't edit. Oh no, we can edit it here. We can straight up edit it here. Well, this is exciting because it actually made the item with actual variables, which means it's going to use all of the default like stuff. I don't know if you ever used the other variable builder or catalog builder that they had. Look at the flow designer. Just okay. I'll look at the flow designer, Andrew. I'm pulling it up right now. Just gonna find the link
scroll,
to
just
the flow. No, I shouldn't go to it that way though. Probably that'll show you that I'm kind of integration in the flows. It was the service catalog item request.
and that's the one you selected while creating that template thing.
Yeah, that was the one I selected. So if I go in here, search for this flow, I've been told that there's been a lot of improvements to Flow Designer. I don't know what they are because I haven't been a big uh, user of Flow Designer. Is there a way to show timestamps here?
This is like manager approval 2 days. That's what they have configured every
No, I
step.
did not want to. Andrew, I actually timed you out. It wasn't clear what I was doing there. If you have anything, I guess, just shoot me a message in Discord. But yeah, so this is the flow that it uses. I don't know
Its
what I'm
total
supposed to
should be
do.
25, right?
What's that?
Days total should be. If you remember, the while we were submitting the catalog, the delivery time was like 25 days, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, 25 days.
So
I
it's
wonder if
2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 4, 8.
right, but it might be business days, like eight on an 8 hour schedule.
Nine.
All right, so we got 8, 9, 10 days. 10 days divided by 8 hours a day is 30 hours, like 30. So it could be that these are for business days and not
Yeah, it should be business days only.
Right, right. But when it shows that value, it might be trying to figure out the. I know that used to be a big problem with workflow, was trying to figure out that stuff. Uh,
It's kind of a cool thing.
it
I
is
mean,
very
it's
cool.
good,
Yeah,
but the
I'm
only
kind.
thing is
They
anyone can create catalogs.
they
That
didn't let
is,
they didn't let you pick execution plans, so they dropped that one off the list in the building of that item, and you can totally edit them after the fact. Let me go back to it one more time because I want to see a few things now that we've seen it once. We walked through it. Catalog builder. I'm just going to go in as admin. And I want to look at that template again.
so you should be able to edit your template, no?
So you can
Right?
duplicate the template. We can edit the template. The editing the template, I wouldn't assume would change anything about the items it's made already.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to see was if there was anything in here about that duration stuff, but I'm guessing you're right. I'm guessing it's the flow designer or workflow that dictates that. And then in overrides, you said they
I
could.
don't remember seeing any duration or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that
Hide
either.
delivery time is there. It's there, hide delivery time if you want to hide that.
Oh yeah, you can hide delivery time, but you probably can't set it. I kind of
Yeah,
jumped
it
around.
should be through it should be through flow designer only. Flow
Yeah,
only.
yeah. I was
But
wondering if there was maybe seeing if there's
but if
anything.
someone selects the workflow, then how it is going to do that thing?
You wonder how it's gonna work if they select workflow instead.
Yeah.
Sure, let's
And
duplicate this template and pick workflow instead. Because there's this duplicate button that I just am tempted to use.
select. You need to select that first.
I did. I clicked it and then template copy of lunch items. All right, so here we'll do copy of office. Just call this office items. Templates available for, should we use, so this is who can actually use the item. No, this is who can use the template. So let's not make this end user. Let's make this Acme North America. And
So we
then we're gonna,
make it Acme North America or any, so the user who are part of this user criteria, they would be able to use this template while creating catalog items.
yeah, so they have to be part of Acme North America. So I'll just make sure I associate somebody to that. What I want to do though is I want to change a few of the things that we didn't have before. So I'm actually going to leave some of these things here. And so you can leave item name blank. So that is actually probably the preferred, in my opinion, if you want to make them fill it in.
Hmm.
Um, because then they have to set it to something. If you default it, they're probably just leave it empty. And then let's add additional catalogs and see how that works. I want to see how it works with all the options that we now are aware of that we're picking. So I'm just going to add a bunch of catalogs, a bunch of categories, questions. This thing must not have any questions. Like I don't understand, but they can add their own variable sets. They just can't remove them. So like I said, if you had a variable set that dealt with the logic of the actual flow, that
We allowed them to, there's one setting or access thing where they can modify the variables as well, right?
so they can't modify variables in this set either. So
I think there
when
there was thing. I remember that when you go on access and all those things, and they have the option to select the modify variable sets or something like that.
Yeah, they could choose other variable sets to add, but they couldn't remove this variable set or this variable set. They also
Just
couldn't
move
edit the
forward.
things inside of it. So
Just go ahead and see if it is there.
see if what's there.
Ah, I remember if you go on the settings or access tab, you would be able to do that. So let's see.
So in settings, you control the submit label, which isn't exactly the
And
right label. It's order versus order now.
exactly.
I'm okay with leaving this exactly as this is. Access. I want to change this. We'll come back to the
Mhm.
questions. I'm not sure what you mean about the variables proof. Um, let's just list all of them.
Let's no, no. It's in. It must be in override section. I mean, I remember while you were
Yeah.
creating
So
this last in the last.
when the user was making it, they could add their own variables and they could edit their own variables. But
No, no, no. I
in the
remember that they
template,
can modify the variables of the template itself. Let's see.
yeah, in
It
overrides,
might be a
there's can edit. Let's see what they can.
editable. Okay, these are the four things.
Those are the four
Okay.
things that I said they could edit about the item.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Um,
okay.
but there's nothing in here about the variables.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm just gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna go back to fulfillment. I'm gonna change this to workflow because that's what you said you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad that that still works. So we'll use workflow here and see how that works. Yeah, I don't think that there was an option when making the template that you could say they can edit those variables.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and these questions no longer make any sense. Well, no, they still kind of do make sense. Sure, it could be like a general fulfillment item. So that template
That
is there. What's that, Drew?
no, no. I was saying that the questions make sense of the variable
Yeah.
set.
So if I return a dashboard, and I don't even want to, I don't want to impersonate somebody else, but I don't want to. I want to make sure that it works the way that it's supposed to work. So let me impersonate. Oh wait, I have to impersonate somebody in North America. So let me pick on that Andrew guy and then came to that.
Just
This,
check that user criteria as well. It's might be just headings or
well, I pulled.
there are
Here's
the
the user
user.
criteria that we linked it to. I could just add them to this, but
Yeah.
it's just if they're above company, North America. So I'll just change his user, Andrew dot Hodge.
Yeah. Just update his company, then it should work.
Um,
And you.
I thought it was a field.
Yeah, you. Company is a field over here.
All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna manually add him to the criteria because I don't want to deal with modifying the view right now. So if you're Andrew Hodge or if you're part of those companies, you can use this item.
Yeah. They've given you special permissions, Andrew.
So let me impersonate Abel and see if she can do it. We expect that she shouldn't. Where'd it go? Cadillac Builder. Oh wait, she doesn't have Cadillac Builder.
Able doesn't have Andrew. We gave access to Andrew, I
Yeah, we
guess.
gave access to Andrew. Um, I'm gonna just assume that that does work. I'm not gonna actually check that. So if I go to Cadillac Builder, oh wait, I'm in as me though. I need to not be me. Impersonate. Catalog builder. So hopefully, so then there's the office stuff. This would be really good for like facilities groups managing like what hardware they want to let people request. If they want to make a simple
Exactly.
item for like a laptop or a desktop, or if they get phones out,
Hmm.
um, this would be really good.
That would be too much of catalogs, I feel. I mean,
Well, I
UI
mean,
policies work, right?
you mean there'd be too many items if there was an item for each type of item they could order?
Yeah, I mean, what we usually do, we just try to
But it,
merge those catalogs through UI policies and all those things. Because at the end of the day, you would be creating lots of catalogs, and the user will get confused because of the some of the similar names.
yeah, but I don't know. When you make items that have multiple like purposes, like say you have an item for all mobile devices, like phones and tablets and hotspots, right? You have to have logic in there, and the approvals might be different, and the assigned tos might be different, and that process gets complicated, and you might have to ask a lot of questions like, okay, where are you shipping this? What is your old SIM card, or what type of plugin do you need in your country, or these different types of
Mhm.
things. Whereas if you just ask for like the one type of item, it's going to be less questions. You'll be able to easier automate that through other processes, like if one to like fulfill it via chat.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's beyond the scope of what we're looking at here. So I'm just gonna leave everything. Oh, I guess. So we'll just make this a paper item, paper for paper fulfillment. Location. So did I not let this get changed? I thought I added all of these to say it could be part of all of these.
Mm,
Maybe I didn't set that
Good.
in the overrides. Let me go back because I want them to be able to pick that stuff, but I don't remember seeing catalogs and categories as an override
Okay.
because I can't edit these here. You see how it says like defined in item template, defined in item template.
How about if we just cross verify that thing once? I mean, open a private window or incognito window and log into
Sure,
that instance.
sure. We'll just do that real quick instead of jumping around. And of course, I need my. So let's take a look. Because yeah, I picked all those keywords and categories. It doesn't make any sense that that won't be an overridable thing. Um, oh, edit. I was looking for the button to get into it, and I wasn't seeing it. So
You go for edit.
it would be an overrides, right? Yeah, okay. So you can't click on the pencil. You got to click on the text. There's no. Oh, here we go. Selected catalogs and categories. I just didn't add those.
Here it is selected catalogs and categories.
Yep, and then I saved it.
You might need to reload that thing.
Yeah. Um, I submitted it again. Let me just see. Yeah, I'll try to reload this. Yeah, now they have to get perfect. So they could say, well, I want this actually just in those two catalogs. And we'll say that's only in this one category, which that might be weird because, well, I don't know if categories can exist in multiple catalogs like that. But in here, oh wait, you can define UI policies. Do you see that right there? This little tiny hidden icon.
Oh man, they need to increase the size of these buttons.
Define a new behavior. So there you go. Um, so the condition is the middle thing. The action. Okay, so okay, this is interesting. I want to play with this, but I don't want to deal with it. Okay, so they can do all the UI policy stuff, it seems.
Yeah, but great man.
Here, and we'll add or here we'll do this. We'll add a choice. We'll add a choice for like how soon they want it delivered. Question label. And you need this. And say it's mandatory. Let's call it when. We'll give it some choices of today. It's nice that it adds the option so you can take them tomorrow, next week.
Oh, the developers are just going to design the flows and workflows for these things. Is it?
What's that?
I mean, if the ITL users can develop these catalogs, so the work for developers would be for admins basically would be designing flows and those workflows.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
want to leave that up.
Yep, there would be. You're right. So I'm gonna actually not gonna change a whole bunch more about it though. I think leave the rest of this be. Oh, I didn't change who it's available for. No, it's not gonna let it work because I said it's available for everybody and not available for everybody. Oof. Okay.
It's fine.
So let's go and edit that again. Darn it.
Another
um,
window, another window. Yeah.
yeah, I just don't want to have to re-edit it again. So in overrides. But it doesn't lose my choices if I refresh the page. So we're going to say that they can also edit who it's available for. User criteria denied and granted access. Save. And then I think I have to submit it to make sure it takes. So if I refresh this, then it still has my question. Yeah, so it must like store the stuff temporarily. I'm actually becoming
Yeah,
curious
the
where that's
save
stored.
button is kind of grayed out thing, so you
Yeah,
should be able to do that.
yeah. So let me we'll say it's available for just these active people. and it's not available for nobody because we're unlimited. Just to say it's only available for these folks. But yeah, so that actually looks really good. Let's just give it a submit. We're not gonna make any other changes to it. It's using that workflow.
Yeah, I'm more interested in that developer time,
Which
delivery time,
what's that? Delivery time?
delivery time.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be based on the flow. Hmm.
So you might go to service portal directly from here
Yeah,
because the
yeah. So,
is available for entry only.
well, here, I'll
I
refresh
mean,
this because this I'm actually Andrew right now. And then this was paper. I think that's what I called it. Paper. Get some paper
of
when you need it. Today, tomorrow, next week. I didn't make any of the things mandatory, but that was based on the variable definitions. And this is a delivery time of 5 days. Um,
us calculated it as 5 days.
what's that?
Delivery time 5 days,
Yeah,
and
yeah. It's probably based on whatever the item, the basic item workflow. I'm guessing is using the flow designer or workflow. So in this case, I bet the workflow here is that. So if I go to my incognito window, let me pull up this rhythm to go to the item. I'm going the long way of getting it. Where's the workflow? Process engine workflow. If I were to check this out and change the dates, and I bet it would move that date up.
I don't see anything
There's so many ways to like set those dates. It can either be set
there.
here.
In activity based. It's in activity based.
What's that?
Stages. Yeah, this is the duration.
Yeah. Let's just make it something ridiculous. Publish.
200.
Yeah, made it 100 days. That'd be a great
Okay.
experience, right?
So
Um,
yeah, let's recreate that thing.
I don't know why it isn't showing me the list of stuff. I thought that was a default thing. Still 5 days. uh, I'm not sure where that's being set, but
It might be based on the stages. If you open that workflow, let's see if it is because we haven't added any approval or kind of thing.
no, there is approvals right
You know,
here. So
no, no, on the stages,
what's that?
uh, edit stages.
That's what I did. I went to edit stages, and I added the department head approval stage. But here, I'll pull it up again because there's three ways that dates used to be calculated for catalog items. I don't remember them all off the top of my head.
Okay,
But
so
one way
coming out
was
five.
in what's that?
It was showing 5 days, right? So if we just total this thing again, it won't be 5 days for sure. Uh, e- Excluding your 100 days edit, otherwise also it's not 5 days as such.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's getting that time from. I'm not gonna find that right now though.
Hey, there was something five. Let me just open that. You just missed that thing. There was something in the workflow itself.
Oh, in the workflow. There's
Properties.
14 days, there's 4 days, there's 1 day. I don't know that it's in the actual workflow it's setting.
It was there. I just saw the 5 days in the setting itself. Can you just open that somewhere?
I was in the properties. Oh,
Yeah,
right here. This
property.
right here. Yeah, so this is using user specified. It's not figuring it out. So if I make this 15, I did it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
There it was. I don't know where that is relative. Like, I don't know where the equivalent is in flow design. But um, here, if I I don't want to edit. I want to just try it. I'm in as my admin user, but it should show me the date. Oh, I didn't want to. Damn it. Let's refresh this page. Yeah, there it is. 15 days. So that's controlled by the flow. So the user won't be able to change that unless they pick a different flow.
yeah,
Very cool. Well, thanks, man. I'm gonna end this here. We've only been on for I don't know how long, but
yeah.
it's been
You
good. Appreciate your
do
time.
it. Thanks, man.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Good night, buddy.
See ya.
Bye.